In this session, we'll see about a closed trajectory. Now let me go with once again insert, sweep, protrusion, and again here I am going with sketch trajectory. Let me select the top plane of the sketching plane, then define the direction and define the reference and orientation. I told that to define the reference and orientation you can choose first the orientation option from the list, and then you have to select the reference plane from the display area. Or even you can go with an option called default, and if you go with default, system itself is going to define the reference and orientation. Now let me go to default, and here I am taking one simple closed trajectory, that is a rectangle. And look at the start point, this is the start point for the rectangle. Now accept the trajectory, and because I am taking here a closed trajectory, the system will give you one more option called attributes. And here you can see we got the attributes, and these attributes we have to specify before going to section. So after defining the trajectory, it will ask you about the attributes, and then we have to define the section. And these attributes it is going to take, the reason is we have taken a completely closed trajectory. And the attributes are add inner faces and no inner faces. Now first let me go with no inner faces, go with done, and again at the intersection of these two center lines I am going to create one section, accept it and see the preview. Now you can go with Ctrl D. So this is the result. Whatever the circular cross section I have drawn, that circular cross section is going to follow the trajectory like this. And the attributes I have used as no inner faces. So when you are going to no inner faces, this will be the result. Now same sweep I am going to do by taking the attributes as add inner faces. So once again I am going sweep, protrusion, sketch trajectory. Let me sketch on the top plane. Again I am taking a rectangle, accept it. Now this time I am going with add inner faces. Select add inner faces, then go to done. Then let me take the same circle and will try to accept it. After accepting it, the system is giving you a message, and the message is section must be open for this feature. So let me go to no, section must be open for this feature. So the condition here in sweep, whenever you are taking add inner faces as the attributes, you are supposed to keep the section open. So we cannot take here a closed section when we are going with the attributes as add inner faces. So here I am going with attributes as add inner faces. So that is the reason I am taking an open section. So you can choose open section, then go with OK, and again you can see the preview here, and this is called add inner faces. Completely inside the trajectory it is going to add the material whenever we are going with add inner faces. So because of this reason we are supposed to keep the section open in case of add inner faces, and if we are going to no inner faces then we have to take a closed section. So this is about completely a closed trajectory. And again this concept can be used on a workbook figure. So this is the workbook figure. On this figure you can use this sweep closed trajectory. So you can get the trajectory from the top view, and then you have to draw the section. Sections are nothing but these inclined lines. Draw them and see the result. Now let me show you this. I am going with sweep. First I am creating here the trajectory from the top view. Then let me completely trim all the inside entities so that we can get completely a closed trajectory. Now here we got a closed trajectory like this. So this is the closed trajectory. And after creating the trajectory, now let me go with OK. We have to trim out even this line. Yes, now it is forming a completely closed trajectory. Now let me go with OK here. And again it is asking about add inner faces and no inner faces. Now because I want to add the material completely inside the trajectory, so let me go with add inner faces. Go with add inner faces and done. Then here I am going to draw these inclined lines as the section. These are the inclined lines are the cross section. So let me draw those inclined lines. And here I am going to keep the section open. The reason is I am going with add inner faces. If it is no inner faces, we have to take a closed section. But because I am going with add inner faces, let me take here open section, then accept it and see the preview. Oh, this will be the result directly. So completely inside the trajectory you are going to get the material. So this is about a closed trajectory in sweep. Then next, once again we'll see the same sweep by taking open trajectory. But before creating the sweep, now let me create first some material in the model. Let me get some material in the model, then we'll go with again sweep trajectory. First I am creating some material by going with ordinary extrude. Let me take a simple cylinder. We'll try to extrude this. I'm going symmetry option, and here I have extruded this cylinder. Then now insert sweep protrusion. Again I am going sketch trajectory, and let me sketch the trajectory on the top plane. And I want to start the trajectory exactly from this cylindrical surface. So let me go with sketch references. So when you go with sketch references, again it is going to give you this references dialog box. And in this references dialog box, by default you can see the right plane and front plane got selected as references. Right plane and the front plane. Now even I am selecting this cylindrical surface as reference. Then let me close this dialog box. And now here I am drawing a simple line as a trajectory like this. Then accept this trajectory. You can see here I am taking open trajectory. Accept it. But again here also we got the attributes. Though I am going with open trajectory, again the system is asking about the attributes. The reason is here we have already some material which is existing in the model. So already if there is some material existing in the model, then even though if you are going with open trajectory, it is going to ask you about the attributes. But here the attributes will be different, and the attributes are free ends and merge ends. Now first we'll see what is free ends. I'm going with free ends, then say done. And now let me draw here a cross section. Let me go with a rectangular cross section. Accept it and see the preview. Now that rectangle will follow the trajectory, but if you see here, it is not merging with this cylindrical surface. The section, that is rectangular section, is exactly normal to the trajectory start point because I am going with the attributes as free ends. Instead of that, now let me change the attributes here. I am changing the attributes by selecting from the dialog box, select it, go with define. Again you will get the same two options. Now from here I am selecting merge ends, go with done and see the preview. Now because here I am going to merge ends, that particular section is going to merge at the end point with the next surface. So here at the end we have a cylindrical surface, so automatically it is going to merge with that cylindrical surface once if you make the attributes as merge ends. So this is about the attributes. Though we are going with open trajectory, if you have some material existing in the model, then we are going to get the attributes as free ends and merge ends. In free ends, the section will remain normal to the trajectory, and in merge ends, the sections are going to merge with the next surface, whatever they have at the ends. So this is about the sweep. Sweep with open trajectory and closed trajectory. And about sweep, we are going to see few more examples in the next session.